Hey everyone, it's me again. I'm going to try to walk you through your itinerary so that you can start preparing for the trip. We will give you a final copy once the visas return. We just got word this week that they will return on May 20th, so we'll probably give them to you on that 30th when we meet as a group. Again, I sent email details about that this week. So, quickly, just wanted to give you some details. Feel free to review this information with your parents or with your loved ones, whoever is kind of taking care of things. June 1st, you leave Delta Airlines 198. You go Minneapolis to Detroit, and then you fly Delta Airlines 189 from Detroit to Beijing. You will leave at 8:30 a.m. To Detroit on the 1st. So you will need to be at the airport by 6 a.m. on the 1st of June. Lucky you. We do need about 2.5 hours to check a group in. Usually about 3, but I think with that early in the morning, I think you guys will be fine by being there by 6 a.m. So please plan on being there by 6 a.m., if not a little bit earlier. Your chaperones will be there around 5:30. They just don't know that yet, probably. And just to recap your return, you are flying on June 11th, Delta Airlines 296 from Shanghai to Tokyo, and then Tokyo to Minneapolis. You'll arrive on the 11th at 12:47 p.m. So you can tell your family that once you get through customs, because you will have to do customs back in Minneapolis when you're re-entering the United States, you probably can plan on being ready to be picked up around 2 p.m. It usually takes a little bit of time to get your baggage claimed, and then do customs, and then kind of get through to everything you need to the pickup area. So you can probably plan around 2 o'clock. The funny thing is that you're actually leaving Tokyo at 3:50 p.m. On June 11th, and then you'll arrive in Minneapolis at 12:47 p.m. On June 11th. So you will literally, well, okay, not literally, but figuratively travel back in time. You're actually going to arrive back in the United States 3 hours earlier than you left Tokyo. So anyway, that's just something to keep in mind. Again, I will have the final details for you, but you can start communicating with your family that you will need to be at the airport at 6 a.m. on the 1st. Okay, so I have your somewhat final itinerary here. I'm working on a few details. I made some changes because I thought there were some things that would be better for you to do in a better order. So I will have a final in the coming weeks here. So just want to walk you day by day through what the plan is so that you, if you have any questions or want to get more information about anything, this will probably be a helpful video. I already see I'm at 3 minutes. I'm going to try to spend a minute a day, no more, so hopefully this video won't go too long. First day you depart from Minneapolis on June 1st, the Sunday morning. Just be prepared for a long flight. I hate telling kids to not sleep much the night before they leave. However, don't forget, when you get on that plane, it'll be 13 hours ahead in Beijing, so it'll be Sunday, and it'll be 9:30 p.m. So people will be ready and get to bed there. So if you can sleep, once you get on that plane from Detroit to Tokyo, it'll make the transition into China that flight from Detroit to Beijing will be much easier transition back in. So if you're interested, limit your sleep the night before. I know you will be excited anyway, so you probably won't have that much sleep. You will arrive on Monday the 2nd. Typically what happens is Beijing's a huge airport, and so what will happen is you'll get off the plane, you'll walk through the airport, kind of a lengthy walk, and then you'll have to go through customs to get into the country. They might randomly pull some of you to do a fever scan. Don't worry about it, it's no big deal. They just have such a huge population there that sometimes they need to make sure that no one's bringing any crazy contagious illness in. I've actually never had a student get pulled for it. I have gotten pulled for it. So don't worry about it. Not a big deal. Your chaperones will stay with you. We'll have our chaperones, one in front and one behind you. You guys will have to stay in a group. You'll be kind of walked into an area that's really, really, really big. It probably has 7 small gates that you can walk through, maybe even more, to go through customs. And basically what they'll do is they'll look at your passport and look at your visa, make sure you're okay to go, and then they'll probably put a little message up on the board that's saying, how was your service? And it'll be a sad face, an okay face, and a happy face. And you can push how your service was from that person. That is how it's been in the past few years, and they'll say you can go on through. Right past that, there's a big mural past the big gates, and that's usually where we tell the kids to meet, because everyone will kind of be ushered through a different line. So don't be nervous. Just follow what they say. They're used to having international people come through, so don't be too nervous about that. But then meet on the mural to the left. That is a great place to meet. There are bathrooms across the way, but that is a good place to stop. Don't go any further than that. You'll then walk down an escalator and get on a commuter, I don't know what they call it, a shuttle or a train or a tram, and you will then go to baggage, pick up your baggage, and then meet your tour guide. So as you walk out towards the outdoor part of the Chinese airport, you will then have a guide waiting for you there that will say West Tonka, or it might even say my name on it, and I apologize for that, but since my name's been attached to everything, I have a feeling they'll screw this up somehow. So it might say my name on it, but hopefully it'll say West Tonka or Pam Tremblay or Steph Lolich, but that's who you look for. They'll load you on a bus and they'll take you to your hotel. And if the entire group can make it from the airport to the hotel without falling asleep, I believe it'll be a miracle. Because that's usually when it hits kids, is that they're excited, but it's so tiring because you've lost so much sleep in the flight, and it's a whole nother day later. So that night we'll just do dinner. You'll just do dinner, and then you'll kind of get settled in for the night and get ready for your first real day, which is day 3, Tuesday, June 3rd. That day the plan is to go to Tiananmen Square, to go to Chairman Mao's Memorial Hall, go to the Forbidden City, and then you will be, you're going to go to actually a place I have been there before. It's called, I don't know how to pronounce it, but I'm trying to think what the American translation is right now. However, you'll go to kind of a westernized shopping area where a very traditional duck dinner will be served to you. So you'll do Peking duck dinner, which is awesome. The kids always love it. Don't be freaked out by the number of ducks on your table, but it's a great meal. You will get these little like tortillas, but they're not necessarily tortillas, and you put your Peking duck from the duck on the plate onto your tortilla, and then you dip it in a little sauce and a little bit of sprouts, and then you eat it, and it's delicious. I promise you guys, it'll be one of the best meals you have in China. So you'll be going to one of the most famous restaurants for that. You'll like it. It's a really cool area. It's pretty close to your hotel too, so it's a good area to scope out if you have extra time as a group to maybe return to. I know kids really enjoyed shopping. The cool thing about that area where that Peking duck dinner is that if you I usually don't advise this, but if you go right off the main streets, down one of the side streets, then there's a million different local markets, which are really neat to see. So Miss Lolich and Miss Tremblay will have rules for you about how you can travel with them, and bring one of them along to go and look around and do some shopping if you want to. So just a quick idea, Tiananmen Square, they'll give you the information about that, and by all means you need to ask Miss Tremblay and Miss Lolich about their experience remembering Tiananmen Square, because we, kids of the 70s, remember what a remarkable place Tiananmen Square was back in the 80s. So definitely you guys will have conversations about that. Chairman Mao Memorial Hall is actually where they keep Chairman Mao's body preserved. So they bring him up for 4 hours a day. He's refrigerated underground. They bring up his body in a glass casket, and then people wait in line for a very long time to walk by and see his body. Don't forget, Beijing is just like Washington, D.C. to us, so people come there to see part of their country's history, and so there'll be lots of people who have never been to Beijing before and are doing the same types of things we would do if we went to Washington, D.C., and so you'll see a lot of people from outer China seeing Chairman Mao for the first time. They move you through really fast, and it's a very interesting experience, so I'll be excited to hear what you guys have to say. The 4th day is June 4th, which is the day that you guys will be doing your school visits. So you'll be going to Beijing School number 7 for the morning. That's the day you're going to need to wear appropriate clothing, no shorts, just appropriate clothing. And then after that, you're going to do kind of a cool, fun experience. You're actually going to go to 3 different markets. A market where locals shop, a market where that have been built for tourists to come in. Those are widely known as the knockoff markets. And then lastly, you'll be going to kind of a westernized shopping mall, and we're going to have you do a little bit of comparison and and compare and contrast about kind of how the marketing styles and shopping styles are changed between the three environments. And that will be the entire day that day. That is a day where you could bring money and do some shopping if you wanted to. I'll tell you kind of when shopping is appropriate. All I can advise to you right now is please, please, please don't spend all of your money in one spot on the first time, because you will have so many opportunities all the way through to the last day in Shanghai. All right, so the next day is another day of doing some tourism. This is widely the kids' favorite day. You'll be doing the Temple of Heaven, which is one of my favorite places in Beijing. It is a beautiful park, so you'll see many locals, many retired people who get free park passes upon retirement. They will be, doing Tai Chi, they will be doing activities, they will be flying kites, they will be playing kind of the hacky sack thing. And I really encourage you guys to join them. Ask them if you can join them. Ask your guide or ask Miss Lolich or Miss Tremblay if you can buy some things ahead of time to play there. It's a great opportunity to really enjoy the parks that are there. The Temple of Heaven is also where the emperors would go to pray for a good harvest. And so there's just these beautiful monumental buildings that are just my favorite in Beijing. So that's kind of what you can expect there. Again, every day is a lot of walking. Even if you're on a bus, your bus can only go so far, so you'll be expected to do the rest of the walking. After that, though, the day of all days, on that same day, you guys will be going to the Great Wall of China. So I actually just had a conversation with our Chinese contact about which area of the Great Wall you'll be going to. They had originally planned you to go to an area of the Great Wall called Badaling, and that's a highly, highly, highly touristy area of the Great Wall. And it was really, really reconstructed when they had the Olympics. They actually built a new highway from Beijing to Badaling for the Olympics. I have been to 3 different sections of the Great Wall, and that is not my favorite. So I asked them to change that. And so you'll be going to an area called Mutianyu, Mutianyu. That's how you spell it. That is where there's a luge on the Great Wall that you guys can ride down. You'll need to pay for that ticket on your own, but you will take a ski lift up, and then you can take the ski lift down, or you can buy a ticket and luge down. It's very fun. I have video of it if you ever want to see it. I think it has great views. I think it's a more walkable area of the Great Wall, and my experience has been that there haven't been any tourists on this section of the Great Wall. Now, I could be wrong. I'm certainly open to that, but my belief is that it'll be a better section of the Great Wall to go to. So that is June 5th. June 6th is another really, really fun day for you guys. You will go to what are known as hutongs, and I know one of you out there has hutongs as your assignment for the tour guide. But hutongs are neighborhoods that are disappearing in Beijing, and they are kind of what we would picture as traditional China. And so you guys are going to go into the hutongs that are remaining. You're actually going to go into a local's home, and they're going to teach you how to make dumplings with the locals there. And then you will actually go to a neighborhood area. And for me, it's always the equivalent of Lake Calhoun. It's called Beihai, and it's a beautiful lake where you can wander around, do some shopping, sit there. Kids were always excited because there's a Starbucks there, but don't forget Starbucks is very expensive in China, so just be careful about that. There's an opportunity to get paddle boats there. There's an opportunity to get a group boat if everyone wants to chip in. But it's a great area for you guys to walk around, very safe area, and it'll be some of that free time that you'll be looking for. That night, you will actually just get ready for dinner, and then you will actually head on to, I'm trying to see what time your plane ride leaves. I actually don't have that information, but usually around 8 or so, you'll be actually boarding the train probably around 7, and your train will leave probably around 8 or so, 8, 9, your train to Xi'an. And so I will stop there for now, and I'll pick up with Xi'an in just a second, but I want to break these videos up.